Okay, so you can download the first three paper. Okay. Mm. Okay, let me go to my D drive. Uh, Okay, so we look at first paper. So it happened to be July. So let's look at this paper. Yesterday I was doing the TMA paper. Okay, and then I did mention that um you can bring a notebook, your notebook, okay, and you can download anything, and you have no internet access during the exam period. So some of the things that you might want to download would be the date function. Yeah, so go to SQL, go and pick up some of the date function like date add, date div, get date, those kind of functions that are often tested in exam. Yeah. So I was also trying to I was also mentioning that sometimes you may be asked to manipulate dates, like find the current the find the orders of the previous month. Yeah. So if you know when the previous month is, yeah, I mean the current month. So all you need to do for the current month is to use today's date. Yeah, so you can use get date. You can use get date to get the current date. So if I use get date, so usually this kind of manipulation, you might be asked in the trigger code. Yeah, so if you want to know which are the dates, the month for the previous month, yeah, so what you do is you apply the date add function and you minus 1 month from today's date. Okay, and if you want only the month, then you can apply the month function. You can also apply the year function. There's month function, there's also year function. And this will give you last month is September. Okay, September. Yeah. Then I was also wondering whether if it's January, whether it will give me the right month. So if you attempt this or this, yeah, so this one is January. So I want the previous month. It correctly give me December. And if I minus a month from today's date, then I get the correct year as well. Yeah, so if you pull out the year, if I wrap it around and pull the year out, it will give me last year. And then if you do the month, it will give you 12. So everything is correct. Yeah. So you can do a minus of 1 month to get to the previous month in the previous year. Okay, so we do this one, huh? So we do the question, the trigger question. Okay, so for this this part here, you have delivery, delivery staff, delivery, and customer. Okay, and then here you are asked to only implement the delivery table. So please read the question carefully. Some students will implement all three tables, and then there's not enough time to do so many other parts. Yeah, so please read question such that you do not waste your time. Yeah. So implementing the delivery question, the delivery table, this is a child table. Yeah. So if this is a child table, um, this is a one-to-many relationship. So you need to have both the car's name and the address as foreign key here. So two columns. Some students have only one of the column, the car's name, which is wrong. Yeah. Then the other one is the staff number that you also have to add here as foreign key. Okay, so that's for this first part here. Yeah, so for you will have you will have to let me do quickly question 3 then. So for this question, yeah, you just need to write write out, okay, the various table. So for delivery staff, you have staff num and is a PK, and then you have the staff name and then the date join. Okay, and then the other one is the customer. Do the parent first, and then you have class name. This is a composite PK, so you have two PK. And then contact, and then the delivery. So you have delivery ID, and then this is PK, and then delivery date, the time slot, the delivery address, and the region, then all the foreign key now. So staff, num, PK, FK, sorry, FK, and then class name. So you can, if you want, you can put FK1, yeah, but not necessary, it's okay. Yeah, FK2 address, FK2. Then you need to have the referential key constraint, this one. Yeah, so you must indicate. So you have staff num must exist in delivery staff dot staff num. Okay, so this is your first foreign key, and then the second foreign key is composite. Yeah, so it's class name, address must exist in customer class name and address. Okay, so this gives you 5 marks. Yeah, it's uh, quite easy to earn. Yeah, but unfortunately, quite a number of students always don't get it right. Yeah, I okay. So you need to indicate the foreign key together with the child table and also put them in the order that they should be executed also. Yeah. So we need to only implement the delivery table. So create table delivery and then do all shortcut. Yeah. Okay, so here you have delivery ID is auto-generated. Yeah, so you can bring anything into, you can bring one notebook and any hard copy material. Yeah, so you it's good to put at least your lab your TMA or lab questions in your note in your notebook so that you can always refer how to do. So it's all often tested. Uh, Unique constraint, foreign key constraint, primary key constraint, the surrogate key. So it's always the same. Yeah. So once you know how to do for one, it's the same for the rest. So this is in not null, and then identity, and then here says 1 1. Yeah, start from 1, increment 1, and then it's a primary key, so straight away indicate primary key. No need to have constraint name. Yeah, so cut short. Okay, then for date is a date time, so you have a date time, not null. Check. Yeah, here it says all columns are required, not null, and then delivery date has a default. It's 1 week from the current time and must be at least 1 week after. So you need to include a check constraint. So the delivery date is at least, there's a default also, huh? So need to indicate default. Default is 1 week, 1 week from the current time. Yeah, so you can do a date at, and then this is the interval, and 7 day, and then today's date, get date. Okay, then you can do a comma so that you separate it from the check constraint. So don't have to say constraint name. It will check the delivery date. So delivery date is at least 1 week from the current. Yeah, so it's greater or equals to this 1 week. Okay, and then it must be not not more than 3 weeks. Yeah, not more than 3 weeks. So it must be less than, not more than 3 weeks. Not more than 3 weeks. Okay, so less than or equals, yeah. So this one can be, let's say 21 days, yeah. Okay, so you can use between, yeah, because if it's greater, equal, less than, equal, you can use between, yeah. Okay, time slot is exactly 9 character. So you need to say char 9, and then not now. And then there's a check constraint. It can be either these three. So when you say check, the bracket, and then check what? Check time slot in this value. Okay. And then delivery address is a varchar 150. Not now. And then region 1 to 8. So up to you. You want to use number also can. Numeric, sorry, not number, numeric. Okay. And then you want to use in, or is also fine. Yeah, but you need to have the check constraint. So region check. So region is between 1 and 8. And then you have the class name. Class name. So this is a foreign key. Yeah, so you must match the data type in the primary, the parent table. So parent table will do the check if there is any need for checking. So like for example, this check, 2 alphabet followed by 2 digit, you don't have to do any checking. Yeah, because you are just referring to that table. So how to do this check if you need to write the delivery staff table? So you need to use the light pattern. Okay, so refer to your TMA. You should be able to see that. Yeah. So use your square bracket A to Z with a light pattern and 0 to 9. But here no need to do the check. So it's exactly 4 character, char 4. So delivery need a delivery staff and need a customer. Yeah, so it's not now. You can reference straight away the table. Then if the column names are the same, you can do something like this. Yeah. So cast name Vacha 60. Not now. And you can't say it like that because now it's composite. Okay, so Vacha, not exactly. Address Vacha 150. Not now. So now we need to add the foreign key constraint. Just foreign key composite. Yeah, so cast name, address, references. So it's customer and then cast name, address. Then here it tells us is assigned, is disallowed, disallowed. Is this one? Yeah, so this part here, after we indicate, yeah, we don't need to on, no need because both disallowed. So no action is the default. Yeah, if it's cascade, then you need to have on something, yeah, on delete or on update cascade. Yeah, for here the second one, update cascade for is for, yeah, is for. So for the customer one is on update cascade. The other one don't need to write. Okay, so this is to create the table. We close. Yeah, okay, so we now do this 3B part. Yeah, so usually you're not allowed to create view. Okay. This one make use of the view rich gallery, but it's a reduced number of rows. Customer is now means the artwork has not been sold off yet. Okay, so we need to this one is the first part that is usually the simplified one. Yeah. the simplified one needs you to only look at one table. So this one use the work table. Yeah, use the work table. This work table. This one artist use the work table. So you want to do a 6 column, 6 column. So you can do a select star. And then does not contain the word. So you will need to have a where condition where the word, the description does not, so it does not have the word. If you need to have the word, then you need to say like. Yeah, so now because it should not have that word, so it must not have that pattern. So you say not like. Expression. This so we use the wildcard character. Okay, and the title should have the word blue. Okay, title should have the word blue. So that means you need a light there, huh? So we're going to select from work, select star from work. Okay. Second one. Okay, second one, what kind of query do you, here it tells you you need to do a subquery. Yeah. So subquery, okay, so subquery. So you want the work that have not been sold yet. So the work that have not been sold yet, they are trans. These are the artists with work pieces. So these are artist detail, huh? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to select the work that have not been sold yet that will come from the trans table. So we from the trans table we can get the work that have not been sold yet. Trans table. So where the date sold, yeah, or the sales price or the customer ID is a null. So up to you. So this work, it has not been sold. Okay, this work has not been sold. These are the work that are not sold. So basically, I need to pull out the work ID. So if you do a star, you get the full detail. Okay, so this will give me the work that have the work ID. Okay, so from this work ID, then I can out I can pick up the artist ID from the work table. Yeah, so given a particular piece of work, let's say this one 578. Yeah, so 578, I will know the artist ID. Yeah, so here we first find out. So when you have a subquery to write, okay, you need to look at you need to look at what is it that you want to do. Yeah, work pieces that have not been sold. Okay, so not been sold can be located in the trans. So you need to figure out not sold. This will be in the trans table. Then I need to get the work ID. Yeah. So this work ID cannot be linked to the artist directly. Then we need to look at an intermediate table that can link the artist and the work ID. And that's the work table. Okay, so from the work table, I pick where the work ID is this work ID to get me the artist ID. And then from there, I can now select all the artists that are in this set of artist ID. Yeah. So I need a subquery that is like this. So your artist must be you get your artist ID where the work ID is one of these work ID. Then this one you get from trans, and then here you get all your artist detail where your artist ID will be in this set. So here we'll get the work ID, unsold work ID. So you do another select. This time you want to get the artist ID. The work ID is in this set. So here we are getting artists whose work not sold. So the topmost now, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's not in. So you need to do according to the question. Yeah, so this one not sold is the customer is now. Yeah, and then after that you want the work that is not sold, the artist whose work that is not sold. The next one here is these are whose work have been sold off, the number of work currently unsold. Hmm. Okay, so this one is like our TMA, huh? We can count using, so we can, what we need to do here is to join the artist table to get this part with the trans table. Yeah, and then in between table is the work table. So then we group those rows that belong to the same artist. So we are going to get artists joined together with their work, joined together, joined together with the trans, do not consider artists that are not in the trans table. Yeah, so it means I can do an inner join. Okay. If you need to consider the artist in the trans table, don't if you need to consider artists not in the trans table, then you need to do an outer join. Yeah, so like that, then you need to do outer join. Yeah, so if you do outer join, then you need to do a, a left join because you want all artists left. And then here also you do left so that you get all the artists. Yeah. So once you have joined, then what you need to do is all those artists that are of the same type, you will put all the artists to one group. So the same artists all go to one group. Then from there, you can count that artist. Some of the rows the customer is null. Some of the row the customer is some value. Uh, then it will be like our TMA question. Yeah. So I'm going to select artist ID, but artist ID will appear more than one time. So uh, I need to say from which table. Last name, first name will appear only one time because there's no customer join. We didn't join with the customer. Customer has first name and last name also. Nationality. Then the number of sold, I will count the rows that have customer ID. So this means that the column is filled up. Yeah, I'm counting how many times the customer ID column has a value. But no value, then I will do count star minus that, minus this. Then that will be the number of null. Okay, then we need to give table alias. So for this one, it will be sold. For the other one, it's unsold. So do 3 table join. So we always join by the foreign key and the primary key. Yeah. So between artist and work, the common one is the artist ID. Between work and trans, this one is a trans table. The common one is the work ID. The repeated one is the work ID. Okay, so this should give us the answer. Yeah. Anyone have any question? Is everyone okay for this part? Then we can go on to the trigger portion. Okay, yeah. Okay, so for trigger portion, the trigger is, where's the trigger? Okay. Eh, trigger is where? Trigger portion is earlier on. Okay, so it's the other table, the delivery table one. Yeah. Okay, so we need to write a trigger, the you say create trigger and then the trigger name. Yeah, so up to you what name you want to give. So you just put T also okay. Yeah. Uh so here what we want to do is we want to ensure that the delivery, the time slot, any time slot for a given date shouldn't have more than 8 delivery. Mm. Okay, so we want to do a delivery check, but you can name it anything. Okay, so I name it that so I know what the trigger should be doing. Then you will say on a particular table. So which table will need a checking? Yeah. So the table that need a checking is when somebody try to insert, then I need to count how many slots there are already for that date. Then I will know whether it's possible to do the insert or not. Yeah. Okay, so I will create this on the delivery table. So when I have a new delivery staff, I don't need to check anything. Yeah, when I have a new customer, I don't need to check. But only when there is a delivery. So if you want, you can put delivery. Uh, then uh, on this table, uh, then for what operation? Yeah. So if I use a for, yeah, so here I can either say instead of, or I can use for, or I can use after. Okay, so for and after they are the same. Yeah. Uh, so if instead of, yeah, what it means is that I'm not going to do the user operation. So which is the operation? The operation is an insert. So the user probably will do like insert into delivery some values. Yeah, some values. Yeah, this value will become available to the trigger in the inserted table. Okay, in the inserted table. Yeah, so if I say instead of, then this insert will have not been carried out. If I say for and after or after, then the insert has been carried out already. Then the logic will be different. This one, the logic is the insert has not been carried out. So if I count, there are 7 or less, then I will be able to do the insert. Then I will need to insert. Okay, I will need to perform the insert. Yeah. The other alternative is I let the insert go through. Then after that, I will check whether now there are 9 more than 8 delivery. If there are more than 8 delivery, then I do a rollback. Okay, so up to you which one you want to choose. Yeah. But actually, sometimes you are able to choose only one way. Yeah. So when you do the real implementation, maybe you can only do one way because if you have a cascade update, okay, if you have a cascade update, this was for update lah. Uh, yeah, so you might not be able to do the you might not be able to do the, I'm not sure whether it's the after or the instead of trigger. Yeah, so when you are doing the coding, you will discover you get error. It says you cannot do this trigger. I think maybe it's an after trigger, huh? Because there is an insert, because there is a sorry an update cascade. So only when only when you are doing the real implementation. Yeah. So for exam purpose, we don't care. Okay, we don't care. Yeah. Mm. So you up to you which one you want to use. Okay. So if I use an after trigger, if I use an after insert, so the insert has not been carried out yet. S begin in and end. And so the logic will be, I assume it has been inserted already. So I declare all the variables that I need. Yeah. So all the I need to know the, so if it has been inserted already, I can pull up. I don't need the delivery address. I only need the delivery date. I also need the time slot. And maybe I need to apply a count of a time slot. The time slot is char 9. Okay, and then maybe I need another one, which is the count. Yeah, because I need to count how many there are already. So later then can add. Yeah. If there are more to declare. Okay, so so this is an after trigger. So what I'll do is I need to pick up these two values from the inserted first. Why I pick up these two is because I want to count how many delivery there are for these two. Okay, so now I will select the count the number of rows from the delivery where the delivery date is that. Yeah. So now is the reverse. The delivery date is the one that I pick up from the row that I'm inserting. And the time slot is the same as that time slot. Okay. So I can count how many there are. So if the count at count, that variable, I found that is more than 8 and the max is 8. Then I will do a rollback and print an error message. Else, I will print the error message, no error message. Yeah. So the question, I here never say that you need to print. Yeah. So never say that you need to print. So you don't print also okay lah. Okay. Let me see, huh? Okay, I think do the print lah. Okay, do the print because I worry marks are given to the else part. So here we do a rollback and then you print. Mm. Okay, so something like this. Okay, actually there are two operations. Yeah, because what happen if the user attempt to update? Yeah, so here is just say disallow more than 8 delivery. It's possible that the somebody wants to change the delivery time slot or the delivery date and then when to do an update. Yeah, and that may also, so you may update the delivery. Let's say you do a set the delivery date to some date, and this date happen to be already for that time slot. Yeah, the old time slot is is not changed, but that combination has more than 8. Then of course need a where condition, huh? Okay, need a where condition. Otherwise, everybody delivery date will be changed. Some date, yeah. So you have a where condition to update one of the slot. So we might need also this. Okay, so it's insert and update. Yeah. In exam, okay, you don't need to think too many. Yeah. Okay. So if you just can think of one, you just take one first, and then later when you have time, then you go back and think, is it possible or not? Yeah. Because the goal is to finish the all the questions first. Yeah. So this part here, 8 marks, you should not take more than 8 minutes. Yeah. So this one, 7 marks, don't take more than 7 minutes. And this one, 5 marks, don't take more than 5 minutes. Yeah, so go according that way, and later you come back. Yeah. Okay, so we finish question 3. Yeah. Okay, question 4. Question 4, you have part-time staff, assignment, job slot. Okay, so this one is 6 marks, 6 minutes, so much to read. Okay, so you have part-time staff, they are selecting uh to work. So these are the slots and how many staff are required. So when they are posted out, all the slots and how many staff are required, then the part-time staff will be choosing the slot, and then they want to insert into the assignment slot. So if they have chosen a slot, then the then the- then the assignment will be recorded. It should be recorded. Okay, then it should be recorded. I'm just thinking why this is added here. This is atypical. Okay, so yeah, so the here it says that the staff, what the staff will do is to go and find out how many available, and then that it will count also how many rows there are, and then it will uh, tell the staff, okay, 2 slots available or 1 slot. Then the staff will go and choose, and then the assignment row will be inserted. Okay, then you have another concurrent task going on, the administrative. Okay, so this one you have multiple staff. Okay, and then you have one administrative staff who is updating the number of staff required, sometimes more, sometimes less. So he sometimes you notice that maybe the full-time staff are on or sick leave, and then we need to increase the number of people required. Yeah. So this administrative staff will update the job slot. The system will first count how many job slots there are. Okay, so we need to know what are they, reader or are they writer. Okay, and then if they are reader, who who is affecting their reading, whether they are update or insert, so we have, let's say, the first transaction, which is for the admin. Admin need to update, but before updating, it will have to read the assignment table, right? So they can count. Yeah. And then you need to do, and he's also a writer. So the writing is to update, is not to insert. Yeah. And then if there are, it will send notification. Uh, so there will be the lead. So it will also write the assignment row, in that it will perform delete row. So delete and update, they are for repeatable read. Okay, insert, then it will be the phantom read problem. So delete operation, delete. So this write is for delete. This is assignment row. Yeah, this is assignment. This one is job slot. So different table. Okay, different table. Yeah. So this is what A will do. Okay, then for the staff, the part-time staff, they will need to read the job slot. Yeah, so they are reading read read the job slot. After reading job slot, then you also need to read the assignments to count. Okay, then after that, then we want to do an insert. Okay, and we want to do an insert. So they are writer. Is that right? Yeah, right. Job. That right assignment is insert row. Yeah, so when A is reading assignment, there could be phantom. Okay, there could be phantom row. Huh? So phantom, there will be phantom read problem. Yeah, and then this one, when it's reading job slot, it can be non-updatable problem. Okay, because of this. Yeah. Okay, so discuss a problem. So up to you which one you want to discuss. You want to discuss a phantom read, or you want to discuss the non-repeatable read problem. Yeah, so you can discuss either one of them. So if you are looking at A, A can get phantom read. Why phantom read is because you need to also say what is the isolation level that caused this problem. So if phantom read, that means you must choose a lower level than a lower isolation level than serializable, then you can get this error. Yeah, so you say I want repeatable read, or I want read committed or read uncommitted, up to you. Yeah, so long as you don't choose serializable. Yeah, so any isolation level not serializable. This can result in phantom read, and you will have phantom read because the staff are adding assignment row. So this is the problem. Let's say we discuss for A, then we discuss phantom read. Yeah. Then okay, so how did the problem arise is when A is reading the row, and then after he finished reading, then somebody actually went to insert new rows. Then if A would read again, then the number of rows would be different already. Yeah, the number of rows would be different if he read the second time. Then because it's an insert now, if it's non-repeatable read is nobody can update, but still can insert. Nobody can update or delete, but still can insert. If you are running at repeatable read isolation level. So here, if you don't go serializable, anybody can do the insert. So you will have phantom read. Okay, then after that, you just say that the isolation level that will not cause it to happen is serializable. Okay, yeah, so use serializable. So, Okay, so you can say that, or if you want to discuss for the part-time staff also can, then you discuss the problem of the problem of the non-repeatable read. Yeah, so if you do that, then you need to choose an isolation level for PTS. You need to choose the first two. Yeah, so you can either say read uncommitted or read committed. Then this means that you will be able to get non-repeatable read problem. Yeah. So the problem is non-repeatable read. So, so why you get non-repeatable read? Because read uncommitted doesn't even bother about lock. Read committed will read and then unlock, straight away release the read lock, so somebody can do changes to the data. Yeah, so the data that PTS is reading, the transaction is doing is reading the job slot. Okay, the job slot can be updated. Uh, Actually, there's also another one because it's also reading the assignment role. Yeah, and then other PTS, yeah, other part-time staff can also insert the role, yeah, because you have some concurrency. So you can do non-repeatable read. You can also do phantom read problem. So up to you to choose which one. Yeah, all possible, all accepted, uh, all just checking whether you understand. Oh, when you are using a particular isolation level, what kind of problem you get, and you can identify that such a problem can arise for that scenario. Yeah. So this one is because so you if you have you are discussing the non-repeatable read, then you just go to the isolation level for you can choose repeatable read. Yeah. If you do this, then you can choose serializable. Or even if you do this, yeah, you can choose serializable. Okay, you can also choose because here say propose. Unless it says the lowest isolation level that will not cause this problem to happen, then you have to choose the non for the non-repeatable read. You have to choose repeatable read isolation level. Yeah. If it doesn't say lowest, you can choose anything that is even higher. Okay, let's look at the this one. Part-time staff, if they are using the database, what permission they should be given. Then just simply give I can read the job slot now. Yeah, so you notice that they need to read the job slot. Yeah, they need to read the assignment. Yeah, they need to be able to insert. Yeah, so these are the things that should be given to part-time staff. Yeah. So this one is to do a select. Okay, don't say read. Yeah. Use the permissions. Either you say select or update or insert or delete. And so for this, and then change it to, in this case here, it will be a select, and select job slot. Here you can also select uh, select assignment, and this one can insert into assignment. So when you say what permission, you use either you say can select, or can select assignment, or can insert into assignment. Yeah. Choose one, don't need all. One permission that should not be given. Yeah, so uh, choose the really obvious one. Yeah, the really obvious one would be cannot delete the job slot. Okay, cannot delete the job slot. That one is the admin responsibility. Also cannot delete the assignment. Yeah. Based on here, but that one is a controversy. Okay, because there could be that the part-time staff is able to remove his assignment, he can change his mind. Yeah. So don't do things that are controversial. Okay. Don't choose that one. Choose things like cannot delete job slot, or cannot update job slot. So this one 2 marks each. Um, so now this one. Okay, so when you look at this question, you only need to focus on certain parts. The other part you can ignore. So you only need to focus on what are the transactions, how they are linked. You don't need to like go and look at the pointer even. You just know that this will be linked to this will be linked to this will be linked to this. Yeah, so you don't have to go and trace whether correct, not whether they link correctly. Don't bother. Yeah, don't bother, because sometimes the link may be wrong. Okay, don't bother about the time also. Sometimes the time may not be sequentially running. Yeah, sometimes it could be messed up. Yeah, like maybe this one become 13. Yeah. Okay, so all that you can ignore. Okay. So you just link according to, this is done first, second, third, and then this. And then you have another linking. So another linking would be for the T02. So you have this one, this one, this one, and then this link to this and this. Yeah, and then, oh, sorry, I missed out one. Okay, then after that you have T3. T3 you only have like that. Yeah, and then this is the last one. Yeah. And then is an insert. So T3 is ongoing. It hasn't commit or roll back, so it's ongoing. Uh, T2, T2 is also ongoing, and is doing an insert. Uh, it didn't do rollback yet. Then for T1, T1 did a rollback, so completed. Okay, but it rolled back after the checkpoint, not before the checkpoint. Yeah, so we have work to do. So the key thing to note is anything that complete if rollback or commit before checkpoint, then you will say, in this case, we don't have any one of them that rollback or commit before checkpoint. Yeah. So this scenario does not apply for this question. Okay, but if you have rollback or commit before the checkpoint, then you say during the checkpoint, the buffer ages already persisted for whichever the transaction is, yeah, for whatever transaction. And then nothing need to be done. That means the recovery process procedure doesn't have to do anything. Okay, but we don't have that situation. Okay, then we may have the rollback or commit is after the checkpoint, of course, before the crash. That's why it's recorded. So if commit or rollback, that means completed after the checkpoint. Okay, then we need to do work on it still. Yeah. So for us, we have this scenario. We don't have this scenario. Yeah. So if it is a commit, this scenario we don't have. Yeah. Then you only need to worry about those actions after the checkpoint. So we only need to be concerned uh, with actions after the checkpoint. Because before the checkpoint, the buffer content has already been written. Yeah, so those has already been saved. So we only need to worry about the actions after the checkpoint. Yeah. So you need to say apply forward pointer, use forward pointer. From the first action after the checkpoint. So you get the action after the checkpoint, yeah, the first one, and then you apply the after image. Okay, and then you say, uh, uh, use this for the first action after the checkpoint to the end of the transaction, and you apply the after image. Okay, then you are done with the recovery. Okay, and then for rollback, which is the situation, and so for rollback, it's T1. Yeah. So you will say, you will start your answer by saying for T1 roll back after the checkpoint. Okay. Then what must you do? Just give me a moment. I need to on the fan. It's very hot. Okay, so uh so T1 roll back after the checkpoint. Yeah, then what we need to do, what we need to say is that during the checkpoint, uh, yeah, the things that have been saved for T1 are the ones that is the after image. Yeah. Why is it the after image? Is because the database management system is not a fortune teller. Okay, it doesn't know that after the checkpoint that T1 is going to roll back. Yeah, so it doesn't know. Yeah, so whatever that is currently in the in the uh in the buffer page, yeah, they are all the after image. Okay, so therefore when we roll back, we need to roll back all the way to the start of the transaction. Yeah. Okay. So don't say not fortune teller. Okay. This one is just to help you remember that this rollback is in the future. So it doesn't, the database management system has no idea that P1 is going to do a rollback. Yeah, so during the checkpoint, you don't even need to say that. So what you need to say is that we need to undo. So so we need to apply recovery by rollback. This one I forgot to mention. We need to say apply recovery by roll forward. So to apply recovery for roll forward, you use the forward pointer. Yeah. Okay, so this one we applied recovery by rollback, and then we use the reverse pointer from the end of T1 uh, to the beginning of T1. Yeah, T1. And then we apply the after image. Yeah. So basically we actually need to read in all the records and then we apply the after image. Okay, then the recovery procedure is done. If you have time, then you elaborate. Okay, you elaborate that the records, the so like in this case here, you do the reverse pointer, right? So you are going to undo the update. Yeah, then you do undo the update for this table row ID, this record. Yeah. And then you undo. If you don't have time, then don't need. Yeah. Then just show that you know what is the procedure. It's a lot more marks if you cover T1, T2, T3 than to cover T1 so thoroughly and then don't do T2 and T3. Yeah, so if you do T1, T2, T3 you complete everything, you will get a lot more marks than you just do one. So for T2 is ongoing. Yeah. So anything that is ongoing, you do the same procedure. Yeah. So you need to apply rollback and then restart. So to apply rollback, you need to use the reverse pointer. Oh, sorry, this one is before image. I typed wrongly. Okay, T3 is also the same. Yeah. Okay, so this one is T2. T2. Okay, let's do the next paper. Yeah. Okay, so we do the next paper. The next paper is okay. Okay, this paper I didn't cover with you. This yeah. So for whenever you do the first question, you quickly identify all the entities. Yeah. So here you see that you have a branch, right? Branch have unique. So definitely branch will be one of the entity. Okay. Uh, what other entities can you discover? So member make a purchase. Yeah. And then you have member. So definitely there's member. Okay. And then purchase also have all these. Yeah. So you can identify. Uh, and then whenever you have purchased, then you have things that you are purchasing. Things that you are purchasing. Is there an item somewhere? There item. Okay. Then don't forget, always have line item. Purchase has purchase item and then link to the item because you need the quantity purchase. So this one mean that you need the purchase line item. Then for member, you have mm, points. Yeah, member have points when you make a purchase. So there can be some purchase here. Here, here it didn't indicate. Yeah, but uh, we we do not know whether we need to make purchase for all. Well, I mean, we need to record all purchases or only member purchase. Okay, so you can state your assumption. Yeah, can state your assumption. Huh? If it's valid, then we accept it. Unless there is a indication. Okay, so here there's a receipt. Okay, there's a receipt. Yeah, so in that case, then we will assume that you need to print a receipt for every purchase. Yeah, so the purchase will be recorded. Okay. So there will be inheritance hierarchy. So I'm going to draw messily here. Okay. So you will have purchase, then you have either a member purchase or a non-member purchase. Don't forget the type. So this will be a member purchase. This side here is a non-member purchase. Non-member purchase. Okay, this one is a member purchase. So member will be linked to a member purchase. Okay, then don't forget the name of the relationship. This purchase is made at a branch. So you have branch. Okay, so all purchase are currently on site. Yeah, so it's all physically. And then here you will have your purchase item and the item. All the items that are sold by the company will be in this. Yeah, so here you will have your quantity. You may have also the price at the time of purchase. Okay, so something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, sometimes you have more, sometimes you have fewer. Okay. The important thing is to identify the identifier. Okay. The identifier for item, you have item code. For the purchase item, you use the purchase ID and a running number if you use the line item pattern. Yeah. So then just one running number and the purchase ID. This one is for the purchase. For member, you have member ID. For the branch, you have a branch name. Yeah, so you have this. And then of course put the attributes. Yeah. Then there's mark for the identifier, there's mark for the attribute, there's mark for the entity. So just identifying the entity also you get some marks. Yeah. Identifier quite easy to find. Member has member ID. Yeah. And then purchase. Yeah. So we have all the identifier already. So here is about hamper. Hamper. So here there are some examples to help you to know whether it's a one to many or whatever. Yeah. So your hamper all have a fixed price. Yeah. So hamper name will determine the hamper price. Okay, but there can be a lot of item. Yeah. That item code can determine the item name and item description. Typical. Yeah. And then purchase will determine the purchase item. This one, this this purchase ID and the item code together, they will determine the purchase quantity. Then, no, I'm sorry, wrong. Need to read, okay, need to read. So the quantity is for, okay, so a hamper have a number of things. The quantity refer to how many hamper. Okay, so that means is this hamper name combined with the purchase ID will determine the purchase quantity. Yeah, and then you have a multi-value because a hamper can have many items and the item can be found in many hamper. Yeah, so according to here, yeah, so some hamper may contain the same item. Is found in two different hampers. Purchase identified by purchase ID, and then purchase can have multiple hamper, but it will be subsumed by purchase hamper FD, the quantity. Yeah, so you can write one more FD here. So altogether there are 3 FD. Okay, so altogether there will be 3 FD. So the FD would be purchase. Your purchase ID can have many hamper name. Okay, but the FD, the hamper name, determine the purchase quantity. So this will be subsumed by this. Yeah, whenever I purchase this, I need to say how many. Even one, I need to say how many. Yeah, so every row that I have here will be found in this table. Then we have another two hamper name has many item. Item code. Item code can be found in many hamper. This is a many to many. This the other side is a one to many. Yeah. This one not one to many. No, not one to many. Not one to many. Sorry. This one sometimes it's a one to many. Like the actor, the director has many movies he directed, but each movie is directed by one director. Then it's a one to many, then we know it will be subsumed. Yeah, but this one is there is an FD that can determine can subsume this. Okay, this one there's none that will subsume. Okay, there is none that will subsume. Yeah. Mm, this is a many to many relationship. You need to have that. Yeah. So you have altogether later when we'll make one table. I mean you make yeah. You will have one table, two table, three table from this FD, four table. Draw your draw your uh, dependency graph. It will help you. So you have four tables. Yeah. Okay, so we move on to this. Let's have a 5 minutes break. Okay, what if another part-time is also inserting? Yeah, for the assignment. Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's why we can also have a phantom read. Yeah. Okay, thanks for for that question. Yeah, so you can discuss any of these two problems. Yeah, just discuss one problem. According to the question, you just need to discuss one. Okay, we have a 5 minutes break and then let's start at 7 minutes, 9:50. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why it says my Zoom expired. Okay, 9:50. Yeah, so we continue. Okay, so for this question, um, okay, what are some of the entities that you can find? Yeah, so here we are told about rates and for badminton and so on. So these rates are for the different games. Okay, they are for the different games. Yeah. So you will have one entity that is game. Some students actually went to do subtyping, a sub class of subtype of game will be pick and non-pick. It's actually not necessary. Yeah, okay, it's not necessary. Yeah, because the game is not a pick game or a non-pick game. The game is the game is has a game name, and then we don't say that the game is a pick game, yeah, but rather the rate, right? So there are only two rates, a pick rate and non-pick rate. Yeah, so these two will be the attribute for the game. Yeah. So your game will have the game name and also the whether what's the pick rate and what's the non-pick rate. These two are the attributes. For students who use the inheritance, the subtype, yeah, we didn't penalize them. Yeah, so in exam we know that you are under exam condition. Yeah, so don't worry about uh don't don't worry about whether you got it right or not. Huh? Just do according to how you read it, and then you just identify the entity. Sometimes you will just group the entity for you. You will consider, okay, game, pick, and non-pick game. They are all just considered as one group. The attributes are found there, and then okay, yeah. Mm. Okay, so you have game, you have account. Yeah, so you have account. So how many account can a person have? The person can have only one account. So it's like the TMA one, you don't need a person and or a customer and then an account. So your person and your account will actually be just one entity. And then here you have booking. Okay, so booking will need to indicate. Yeah, so you need to indicate like the time and the facility number. You don't have any FK. Okay, don't have any FK. Yeah. So you will have booking. Uh, your booking will be linked to your booking will be uh, linked to a facility. Okay, you will be linking to a facility. Uh, and then the facility number will become the FK. Yeah. So of course, when you book, you will book a facility. Yeah. And maybe it's booked by using a particular account. So this one is like this. And then this part here is a 1-1. So when you book a particular facility. The facility can have many bookings on different dates. Okay, then so far we have these three. A game. Okay, game. We also have game. So game. So game will have quite a number of facility. Yeah? So here we are told that certain games you have facility number running 1 to whatever. So facility number is not unique. Yeah, because all facility numbers start from 1 for each game type. So facility number is not uh not cannot be used as an identifier. So the ID for a facility and the ID would include the name of the game. So this is ID dependent. Okay, this will be ID dependent. Now it will include the name of the game and it will include also the facility number. Okay, so when you do a booking, when we transform to the logical model, and then we will include two things: the name of the game and the facility number under the booking, yeah, as foreign key. But now please don't have any foreign key. Okay, no foreign key, no data type, yeah, in your ERD. Okay, don't have these two. So now we have this game linking to facility. Facility will have details, other details also. Yeah. Some of the details would be the location. There's a location map. Yeah. So location. Uh, okay. So you have like that. Before and after, you will do a check to see whether there are any damages. So the damage, is it linked to facility or is it linked to booking? What do you think? So if I have damage, should I link it to facility or should I link it to booking? Yeah, to booking, yeah. Why to booking? Because when you link to booking, you have details about who is the or when it happened. Yeah, so you know the slot. So you will have detail. If you link to facility, you will lose a lot of detail because here you have a fan trap. Yeah, so I know this facility is damaged if I link to facility, but I do not know which booking because here you have many many bookings, so we do not know which is the one that caused. So here, if we link it here, then we know which booking. We also know which facility because there's every booking is for a particular facility, and we also know which account or who is the person who did the booking. Some students have the staff, but there's not enough detail on the staff. Yeah. So these are the 5. So if you want to put staff, then you will have another one. Yeah. But this is not part of the answer. Yeah. Can we use game type and game number to identify the facility? The game type is the game name, right? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, can. It's the same. Okay, so you use game type is fine. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the second one. You will not have game entity, game type. Okay, can. Yeah. So if you have game type, you have the game type name and the rate. Yeah, so long as you can use a different name, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So we look at the entity to the attributes to know what it is about. In this one, you have hmm, you have elderly activity. Yeah, so the activity are held at fixed location. So I have an activity name. This name will link me to one description and one venue. Okay, so according to here, every activity linked to only one location. Then attendee should link to this. But does it have many phones? Uh, if if many phone, then the question will state. If the question doesn't state, then you will assume that there's only one phone number and one name for each attendee. Okay, so you have that. Mm, so here you can assume there will always be some attendee. So there will be some attendee. So you have you have attendee and activity name. So attendee can attend many. So you have attendee ID, have many attend many activity name, and then the activity name has many attendee also. Yeah, many attendee. What else that we can indicate? Activity can happen many times. Oh, this is wrong. Yeah, because it can happen many times. I need to know which one he attend. Yeah, so attendee can attend many activity name on activity date. So I need this activity date. Yeah. So activity on an activity date can have multiple attendee. So we need uh, both because the activity can be conducted multiple times. Okay, so you have that. Yeah. Mm. If you want to show this, this part here. Yeah, usually when it's stated here, you just show. Okay, it can be subsumed later, don't worry. Yeah, so you may have an activity name happening many times. So this one here, this one is the on the activity name, activity date. Yeah, this one here is this one. Activity can happen many times. And then this one here will be activity date, activity name. Okay. And yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Yeah, so 6 FD and MVD. Okay, then need to say which one is subsumed, which one is not. Yeah, so we have when we have this, so this assumption here, yeah, if I conduct an activity on a certain date, there will always be some attendee. So here, whatever I have in this table, it will be covered in this table. Yeah, it will be covered in the other table because of that assumption. So this one is not subsumed. But this one is subsumed. You say it's subsumed because of this. Yeah, because of this. That there will always be some attendee. So you don't need to make this table. You need to make this table is, let's say I organize, no one come, but actually it was scheduled. And then I need to have this table because not all of it will show up with attendee. But with this, then I don't need, yeah, I don't need to have this table. Okay, so finally we are going to make one table for this attendee, one table for the activity name, for the activity itself, and then we will make one table for this MVD. So 3 tables altogether. Okay, 3 tables, yeah. So we don't need this table. Okay, if we have this table, then when we do our foreign key constraint, then when we make this table, the foreign key for this part here, yeah, is this table. Okay, is this table. Yeah, but now we don't have this table. So we are going to link it, link this to the attendee and then link this to the activity name. Link it to the activity. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's good to have this. Okay, but we will say it's subsumed. It's good to have this for integrity purpose. Yeah. So what is the candidate key? The candidate key will be these three. It has this, it has this one, and then it has the date. So these three will be the candidate key. And try to work it out. Yeah. If you're not sure, then you can email me. Yeah, your solution. I can let you know whether it's correct. Okay, so question 3. Question 3. So here you have a many-to-many relationship. So here you need an intersection table. Yeah, so you have product purchase or purchase product. So you will have purchase product, another table that will have the two ID, PID, and the product code. So it's PKFK and then product code PKFK. So this one has no FK. This one has an FK customer name address. This is your FK for purchase, and then need to show this first or this first And then this one that has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And then the last one is this. Yeah, then your foreign key constraint, huh? So this one you need to put the where condition together with the table and then put the where here. This one will have two where. Sorry, not two where and an and. Okay, because there are two foreign key constraints to link to purchase and to link to product. This one only one foreign key constraint. So we need to do only the purchase table. Okay, so purchase table. So purchase table will have only four, huh? Doesn't have the product code. Yeah. And you have the purchase ID. You have the date purchase. And you have the name and address. Okay, then use this to help you. Purchase ID auto generated. Yeah, so the same thing. In not now identity 1 1 starting 1, yeah, 1 1 primary key. Okay, then date purchase, default date time not later than the current. So you have date time, all columns required, not now, then default, get date, then check. Cannot be later than, so it can be on the same date, uh, get date. Okay, then we have the name Vacha 40. Vacha because at most, yeah, anything at most, if you say exactly, then it's cha. So Vacha 40, not now, and Vacha 255, not now, and then foreign key constraint. So mix, yeah, this one is the mix. So mix cascade, both cascade. So we say foreign key name address references customer customer name address on update cascade. Doesn't matter, you say which one first, yeah. On delete cascade. Okay. Then uh, done done that ready. Okay, then now 3B. Okay, so 3B, we use the view rich gallery. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Okay, because they are also floating paper. Mm, the reason why we recent time we try to separate the 3A and the 3B is because some students, when they do, if the query is based on 3A, and then if your table is wrong, then the query is wrong. Yeah, because sometimes you miss out a table, then the query is either simplified or whatever, it will be different. Okay, so here we have three tables: art piece, customer, and transaction. So if it's a noun, that means not sold yet. Okay. So if it's indicated, it's sold. List customer in USA. Starting the city start with L. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly 5. Yeah, so we can do select star. So we need who live in USA. So USA is country. And the city must start with L. So city must be like, start with L. You want uppercase, lowercase. Is case insensitive for SQL Server. Okay, so this is our answer. Yeah. Okay, then art pieces that have been purchased by customer in Canada. Use subquery. So we need to find which are the customers that are customers in Canada. So we need to find customer that live in Canada, the country Canada. Then we find their customer ID because we're going to link it to this customer ID. Yeah. Then now when we get the ones that have those that live in Canada, we get the art piece number, art piece code, art piece code. Then we can go there to find the other detail. Yeah. So we find the customer who live in Canada first. Then we find the transaction that involve those customer. Then we check what is the art piece code. So we get all the art piece code for this customer. And then now we can pull out their details if the art piece code is found in the select that we get. Yeah. So we first select the customer ID from customer who live in Canada. Okay, so these are our Canadian customers. And then we want to know which work they have purchased. Yeah, so we go to select from the transaction where the customer ID in this set. Yeah, this set of. Okay, now we are going to pick up the art pieces. So here must be the art piece code. So now we select everything. Okay. Yeah, so that's the solution. Yeah. And this one, we get the customer and all his purchases. Yeah. Include customer without purchase, and we need to do a left join. The value of the purchase would be the transaction table. And so we join the customer in the transaction table. So this one must be left join so that I can include all the customers. Mhm. So include all the customers, so left join because customer is on the left. Okay, then after I join, what I need to do is I need to select these fields. Customer last name, first name. So I need to say C dot customer because there are two customer ID. I need to say which one. Last name, first name. I need to count how many purchases he make. So sum, no, not sum, count, count, count the number of purchases. Yeah, so I will need to do a group by. So when you group by all those that are not in the aggregate function, you need to put them under the group by. So count, I'm going to count the number, not the number of rows, because cannot count star, count star will be wrong, because what I'm getting is when I do an outer join, so if that customer, what is this draw? Okay, so let's say, for example, Johnson Linda has no purchase. So what it means is at the trans side, it will all be null, 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 null. There will still be a row for Linda Johnson. But if I count star, I will get 1, which is wrong. She didn't buy anything. So I need to count how many this one of this field here, so that if it's non-null, then I count. Then I have 1. If it's a null, it will be not counted. So I'm going to need to use any one of these. Okay, any one of these, even including T dot customer ID. It will still work. But you can also do T dot transaction ID, because not involved in any transaction, there will be a null there because of the outer join. I think this one don't need to say is null. Some, then maybe you need is null. Count, it will count 0 for you. Okay, so this one I need to give an alias, non-purchases. Non-purchases, and then the other one I need to do a sum. So the other one is value of purchase. I need to do, this is the alias, I need to do a sum. Sum the sales price. Okay, sales price. And I may get a null, so do is null. If I find there is a null, then I replace it with a 0. Okay, the group by what else that I need to do? No need order by. No need order by. Okay. So this one should be the answer. Okay, now we are going to do the trigger code. Trigger code, sales price cannot be less than 50% of the acquisition price when the customer make a purchase. So it will be an insert. Okay, so here it says when a customer makes a purchase, so insert, insert into, no, sorry, it's an update, update. Remember here it says when a customer buy, yeah, then it's an update. Okay. So when the gallery buy is an insert. Uh, so the operation should be update. Yeah. So create trigger, trigger name, and say sales price check. So I can do after or I can do instead of. Yeah. So do after trigger is a lot easier. Yeah, because you don't have to issue the update again. So here I will just say after update. Okay, so S before begin and end. Okay, the first thing to do is to declare all your variables and then pick up the values from inserted or deleted depending what values you want. You want the old values is the deleted. You want the new value is the inserted. Yeah. So standard things you will declare, you will pick things up from the inserted or deleted. And then if you don't know what else to do, okay, just do whatever you can. Okay, because if you pick up things from the inserted, you already you get marks. This one will give you mark, this operation will give you mark, and then you're picking up things from the inserted or deleted, you will get about 40% of the marks already. Yeah. Okay, so declare the variable. And what variable we need? We need the sales price and the acquisition price. Yeah, we also need to know which transaction has been updated. Yeah, the transaction ID. So we are going to pick the transaction ID. Transaction ID is a running number. So add transaction ID is an in, and then no need to use long name. You can just use TID. Okay, TID will do. And then we need to know the sales price. Sales price. Sales price, you just give something reasonable lah. Okay, you just give something reasonable. So I don't think it will go beyond 2, 4, 6, 7, or 8, 9. You can just give large number because we didn't implement the table, so we do not know. Huh? So 9, let's say 9.2 sales price, and then the acquisition price. Okay, no, asking price. Okay, so the sales price, acquisition price, sorry. Okay. Uh, Sales price, acquisition price. Then next thing to do is to go and pick up those values. Yeah. So we do, I don't know why we need the transaction ID. Maybe just these two will be enough. Yeah, the sales price and the acquisition price. Okay, so I'm going to get from the inserted. I don't. Okay, so I'm going to get from inserted and then the sales price. If we need, then later we go and we go and see whether we need the transaction. Huh? Yeah, so based on these two, according to this, it says that as long as the sales price cannot be less than 50%. So we check whether it's less than 50% or not. So if the sales price is less than the 50% of the acquisition price, then we need to roll back and we need to print the error message. So roll back and then the error message. Okay. So not difficult, huh? The trigger part usually not so difficult. Okay, okay, look at question 4. I need to charge my battery. Okay, this one we did yesterday. Okay, so you watch the last part of the recording. Yeah, this one, customer question 3. Okay, question 3 have all these tables. Yeah, so if you are a customer, mm, you're a customer, very easy, huh? You want to update your own detail, right? So you can do do a or you can even do a select. You can even select on the transaction so you know what are the art pieces that are in the gallery. Uh, so you can select your transaction or work lah. Okay, you can select work, can browse work, you can browse trans, or you can update customer. All these are possible. Uh, so easiest you just update customer, update your own detail. Yeah, not allowed to be given. Usually is like delete, delete work, delete trans, all that. Yeah, so in this one, This one is a typo. Okay, there's a T5, it's a typo. So you can either ignore this, yeah, don't have to mention what happened to T5. Okay, or you can assume if you link this this one, the linking is wrong also, huh? This one is supposed to go to 10 because question get changed. Okay, then the linking go wrong. So this one is assumed to be T3 lah. But if you assume or you just remove it, yeah, it there's no impact. Okay, because T3 finally will commit. So when it comes like that, when there are error, all you need to do is ignore this time, ignore all these. Yeah, just follow according to the linking. Okay, just follow the linking. I mean follow the linking using the transaction ID. Okay, so just use the transaction ID. So you will have this link to this link to this, and then link to this. Yeah. And then for T2, no more, huh? Yeah. For T2, this one link to this, and then link to this. Then for T3, so T3, you have this link to this, and then link to this. Yeah, you can just link to this, or you can link to this, then this is one up to you. Okay, this one you can assume that is T3 or you throw it away. Uh, so when it's our fault, okay, then we will just look at what your assumption is and then work with your answer according to your assumption. Okay, but whatever the assumption is, T3 commit. So the explanation should be almost the same lah. The procedure will be the same. Okay, so we go back to our word. uh, So we have this. So anything that complete, we don't have before the checkpoint, we don't have to do anything. Okay. So, if commit before the checkpoint, nothing need to be done. Yeah, if commit or roll back after the checkpoint, we have two scenario. We will do recovery to to complete the commit for them or to do the rollback. So if it's commit, then we apply recovery this way. If it's rollback, we apply. So from the end of the transaction, the standard, yeah, to the beginning of the transaction. Okay, so there are two cases here. One is if it commit, then if it roll back, and both is done after the checkpoint. Okay, and I want to change it. Now change color. Okay. Then the last case, if it's ongoing. If it's ongoing, we always do this. Yeah. So we always apply rollback. So there are three cases. Yeah. This one before the checkpoint, you got nothing to do. This one completed. If it's ongoing, then you need to do two things: a rollback and then we start. Yeah. Okay, so for this question, then we need to say for T1, what is T1 about? There is also one part that I overlooked for the other question. Yeah, you need to say how the acid property, how you, how the, how we ensure that it's all or nothing, things are persistent, is everything, the database is still consistent, the so this part you need to say it in one sentence. Okay, just need to say it in one sentence. Uh, so for the previous case, yeah, for the previous case, then you can say, let's say for T3, yeah, so this one is partial work. Okay, so here here you say that it's all or nothing. Yeah, so we achieve the all or nothing. Or in this case, nothing. Yeah, nothing for T3 because atomic. Yeah, you cannot have partial work carried out. So if you do for one of them, is fine. Yeah. If you want to do this one already completed, yeah. So you can say is for this case, you will say that it is persisted, durable. The consistency part you don't have to mention. Yeah, you of course you can mention. Yeah, because if you have everything carried out, then the transaction will put the database in a consistent state. You will move the database from one consistent state to another consistent state. Okay, but you just do one is enough. Yeah, either you do or you want to do two. Usually we know you don't have much time. Okay, so don't forget to mention at least something about the acid property. Okay, yeah. Don't need to write in complete sentence also. So you can say atomic or durable. Okay, so for T1, we will say that T1 starts before the checkpoint and roll back before the checkpoint. So in this case, nothing need to be done. So during the checkpoint, so you say during the checkpoint, what happened? If you want to be even clearer, yeah, then you see the buffer page with the before image. Because when T1 requests for rollback, the database management system will say, "Aya." No, it will not say "Aya." Okay, it will say, "Okay, I just bring everything back for you and undo all your work." Yeah, so the buffer pages will contain all the before images for T1. Then during the checkpoint, all the before images of T1 will be on the buffer pages, so they will be written on the secondary storage. And that's why nothing need to be done. If it is a commit, yeah, then the buffer page will continue to have the after image for T1. And so then we will just write all the after image values for T1 on the secondary storage. So nothing need to be done for T1 also. If T1 did a commit, so whether commit or rollback, nothing need to be done. Yeah. The only difference is if T1 asks for a rollback, then the buffer pages will contain the before image. Yeah. Okay, so for T2, we'll say that T2 is rollback. So here you can say so durable. So atomic, you can say atomic, durable. You can say that uh, none of T1 action show up in the database, so is atomic. Yeah. So you just do for one case, yeah, it's good enough. Yeah. So T2 start before the checkpoint and it roll back after the checkpoint. Okay, so what need to be done? Yeah, so you need this situation. So if you roll back or commit after the checkpoint, you need to do this. Yeah, so you need to apply rollback. Yeah, because why? Because the database management system is not a fortune teller. It doesn't know that after the checkpoint, suddenly T2 say, I want to roll back. I want to undo. Yeah. So during the checkpoint, it was still the after image. Only when the rollback is issued, that the database management system will undo the action. So before that, there is no undoing. Yeah, there's no request to undo. So when there's a rollback here, then the database need to undo everything that has been recorded in the database. Okay, so use the reverse pointer and then this one, yeah, and apply the before image. Okay, so you recover T2 using this way. Mm. So from the beginning, and no, from the end of the transaction to the beginning, yeah, so we undo, 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 and then we reach. So we will undo the update. Okay, for T3 starts before the checkpoint and commit after the checkpoint. Indicate what each of the transactions, what's the situation for each of the transaction, because I think sometimes there are marks allocated. So you need to indicate for T1 what is happening. So therefore I need to do this. For T2 what is happening. Therefore I do this. So you need to indicate they commit or they ongoing or whatever. Okay, so for commit after the checkpoint, then we need to apply this. So we need to apply recovery by roll forward for T3, and we use the forward pointer. So if you look at the checkpoint, and there's actually no action unless you take this to be T3. So this insert has to be carried out for T3. But if there is nothing, then you just do the commit. So applying it to T3, then you will say there's no action. Yeah, but you say we need to do this. Yeah, we need to do from the first action after the checkpoint to the end of the transaction, and you apply the after image. Then, however, this part here is important, and no matter what you need to say, this is what we are going to do first. Yeah, but now, nothing to be done. Yeah, this part here you must not miss out. If you have a transaction that commit after the checkpoint, you need to say we need to recover by roll forward. Like that. Okay, like that can really, yeah. Or you say there's an insert that needs to be, in this case, you may assume the other way. Um, so the other case, you'll say that the insert. Okay. Okay, so you say atomic, yeah? Or maybe durable, this case here. So atomic, you say all or nothing. Yeah, so in this case, all of them complete, right? All of them complete. Yeah. Atomic because all completed transactions. You can talk about atomic or you can talk about durable, or you can, if you talk about durable, you talk about the data being persisted in the database. Yeah. Okay. For the last paper, last paper, this paper is a harder paper. Okay. This paper, I think I will cover with the receipt group. Yeah, then I will give you the recording link. Okay. Uh, this part here is not the standard one. Yeah, it's not the standard one. You have multiple relationship between the entities. Between two entities, you can have more than one relationship. Okay, you try doing this. Okay, you try do this paper. So if you see a question that you think that wow, this one is too wordy and too difficult to think, don't do this question first. This one 20 marks, 20 minutes. You have to do the easy one first that you are confident. A number of students actually do question 4 first because they find maybe they are confident. Yeah, so question 4, some do question 3 first, and then after that they move to question 2 and then question 1. So you don't have to do in the order of the question paper. Okay, if you read the question, you say, I think this one is too involved. Yeah, then you go and do some other parts first. Yeah, but whatever you do first, bring highlighter. After you read, yeah, you want to highlight straight away. So when you come back, you don't have to read everything all over again. Yeah, so your question paper is on hard copy. So you can circle, you can do whatever you have highlighter, you go and highlight. So you don't waste your time having, if you want to go back to that question, you already know what are some of the key things already. Yeah. Okay, so try to doing this. Yeah. Try doing this. Then when I finish the receipt, then I can give you the recording. Okay. Does anyone have any question? I will give the receipt, the recording that we did the revision paper. Also, I'll give to the receipt group. Yeah. So let me stop the recording.